Welcome to video number 3 for the blind tasting box, and wine number 3. That being they're just together. That's just what it is. So we're on our 3rd bottle now. So
yes.
we're well trained in the art of tasting. Hopefully.
The more you taste, the more you know.
I just saw a rainbow go across my eyes. All right, so we're going to continue with the steps that we've been doing through videos 1 and 2, and we'll move on to number 3 here. So again, first step is that we want to look at the wine. We want to assess the color on a white background and assess the intensity, the depth of color. And in this one, remember last time we had the red, it wasn't quite purple. What do you think about this one?
It's dark.
It's dark.
Super, super dark. And definitely has some more purple in it than wine number 2 had.
Okay.
I mean, I still would call it more of like a dark red though,
Okay.
as opposed to being really purple. Grapes like Malbec I would still kind of not consider for this one based on the color.
And what about the depth? Are we going medium? Are we going deep on color?
Yeah, deep.
Deep?
Yeah,
Okay. So
deep
we're
for sure.
deep dark red. That's what we are. Okay.
Yeah, deep
I like
dark
it.
red. Like a band name, isn't it? I don't know.
Probably.
Okay, and as far as viscosity goes, it's a little bit more intense than wine number 2 is. As far as the viscosity goes, the way that the alcohol clings to the glass.
Of course, yeah. The legs.
So translation, sugar.
Yeah. Step 2 is we want to assess the aromas. We want to assess the intensity of the aromas, as well as if there's any primary and potentially secondary fruit in this one, maybe. So when we move from the primaries to the secondaries, that's kind of more of what we would get from oaking. So when you oak a wine, you get vanilla or coconut, or there's a bunch of different descriptors with those ones. But
Spices is a wine
spices,
age.
yeah, for sure. Baking spices is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So as wines progress and as we add more things into the wine, the primary fruit sometimes can turn into 2 different types of aromas. What are you thinking?
Well, it's got some markers of something that's pretty classic style.
Oh,
Yeah, some markers for sure. But as far as fruit goes, red and black fruit, I think there's some red plum in here bordering on black plum.
okay.
There's also some like pencil shaving kind of character in here. Right.
So we're leaning towards the more of the dark fruit realm on this.
I think
on this
so.
one. Okay.
Blackberry, like kind of
Okay.
crunchy blackberry. I actually had blackberries in my smoothie this morning.
That's good,
So
that sounds good.
yeah, so it's kind of a little bit similar to that. Blueberries, yeah, dark black fruit.
Okay. And some blue fruit.
Mhm.
What about evidence of oak?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely evidence of oak in this wine.
Okay.
Like I was saying, the pencil shavings, it's not like a new oak, or yeah, it's not a new oak, and it's not like an American oak aroma either.
Okay.
So American oak typically will be like a coconut or dill, whereas French oak is a little bit more subtle when it shows. So I think this wine also has a bit of age on it.
Just a little bit of age.
Just a little bit of age.
We got an oaked wine, classic characteristics, a little bit of age.
Just a little bit though, not a lot.
What's telling you that it has some age on it?
There's a bit of spice character in there
Okay.
that would show me the age.
Like black pepper, or more like allspice?
No, like baking spice.
Baking spices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subtle baking spice like clove. Red fruit. It's getting more intense the more that it's in my glass too.
And that's the thing that red wine does, especially with the darker varietals, is that they do take time to aromatically open.
Right.
So you can decant this if you'd like before.
Or spend some time with it in your glass.
Yeah, just nose it for a little while and see how the aromas evolve over trying to guess what it is as well. All right, so after we smell, we have to taste. So we're assessing for acid, for alcohol, as well as tannin, structure, and finish. So first, the most obvious thing to me in red wine when I first taste it is tannin, to me. But,
Yeah, I'd say there's a bit of tannin here.
okay,
Medium minus. Definitely mostly on your tongue as opposed to your gums.
okay. So it's not sticky, it doesn't feel like,
Not really.
Yeah, okay.
No. Not like cat's tongue.
Cat's tongue, that's a good
Yeah.
descriptor. What about the alcohol?
It's moderate.
Moderate? Okay. What's standing out for you the most on the palate? Or is it just very balanced?
It's pretty balanced.
Okay.
It does have more tannin than wine number 2 had for sure. So if we were to compare it from the last, say that the grapes probably have thicker skins.
Okay.
I think that the alcohol's in balance as well.
So when we're talking about balance, we're talking about all the pieces that we're assessing being in harmony. Right. So everything that you're assessing on the palate is going to be kind of hard to pick out from one another because they're so almost blended well together. So the winemaker did a great job with this one.
I think so. I think that the intensity is fairly medium as well as like the ripeness of the fruit character.
Okay.
Which makes me want to lean more old world for this wine. It's got a really nice finish as well. Dark chocolate. Yeah, it's like bitter dark chocolate. Okay, so listening to my own tasting note. It's got moderate acidity, moderate, medium minus kind of tannin, medium alcohol, dark fruit, dark chocolate. Leads me to believe this is a blend. So, do you want me to guess now what it is, or do you have any other leading questions?
No, I think that we have all the info we need to make a guess.
Oh yeah, we do?
I think so.
Okay. I think that this is a classic Bordeaux style blend. I think that it's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. Merlot is the indicator of that dark chocolate kind of flavor. It provides a little bit of softness to a Cabernet Sauvignon, so that's why it's a more medium tannin, medium acid, because Merlot will complement that Cabernet Sauvignon from something that's really bold and full-bodied to something that is a little bit softer, more approachable.
For sure.
Also the pencil kind of character.
Very characteristic.
Character of Bordeaux.
Yeah.
I think that this is a cooler vintage, so I'm going to rule out 2015 and 2016. So it's 14 or younger, 2014 or younger. I don't know exactly what the vintage is, but it's a really nice quality wine. I would probably pair this with red meat. If you have like a grilled steak dinner, that would be really delicious. Anything that has a little bit of fattiness to it as well would be really nice. So if you were like braising meats, had it with some nice creamy mashed potatoes, something like that. That would be really delicious. Or spaghetti meatballs. That'd be really good.
Yeah,
too.
you think so?
Yeah.
The acid's there for that kind of thing?
I think so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Parmesan cheese. So how'd I do?
How do you think you did?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's the best part about blind tasting is that it's always fun. You never know.
And so something else when you're blind tasting is you want to try and conceal the bottle as best as you can. So like Adam's got the bottle here, he's got it in 2 bags, so I can't see the bottle shape. I can't see what kind of closure it was, whether it was cork or screw top. So when you're opening your bottles, you want to try and conceal as much as you can. Try and resist looking at the cork because it might say the name of the winery or region on it.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready for the reveal? All right.
Well, it's got a cork. Argentine Cab.
This is Cabernet from Argentina.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, well it was close.
Yeah, you were almost there. You had the dark fruit, you had the graphite, you had the cab. I just think that the dark chocolate threw you off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I would think of using Merlot for dark chocolate.
Well, Argentina to me sometimes has that kind of chocolatey finesse to it. if you
Right.
would.
So how would I have nailed down that region then?
Well, I mean, first of all, the color wasn't quite as deep to me as, say, a Bordeaux.
Okay.
Right? Bordeaux is a little bit more to that dark ruby, like black ruby almost. A lot harder to see through it. This one I still think, it's deep, but I don't think it's quite as Bordeaux. As well as on this one, I think another thing is that it has a very interesting soil type that it grows in. So I think that threw you off. So it has alluvial soil. So
Okay.
it's a little bit more rocky compared to other places in the world. I mean, Bordeaux is kind of similar, clay on one side, more stone on the other.
Sure.
So I think that the combination of stuff, it just, you were close. You were right there.
Yeah.
You just needed to,
85%.
I'd say 85,
Okay.
maybe 90.
Okay, B
Maybe
plus.
90, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tasting along with us, and I hope that you learned a few things about how to taste wine blind.
And we'll see you at wine number 4.